Is this the end of everything? The K-pop world was shaken when BTS's Taehyung suddenly uttered a phrase the public should never have heard, a revelation that sparked wild speculation about Jungkook and HYBE's shocking decision. Is Jungkook leaving BTS? Or are there great forces behind the scenes that want to stop this truth from coming out? Imagine a room so quiet that the heartbeat sounds like a loud bang in the ear. The crew, staff, even the cameras that should only be silent witnesses, now seem to hold their breath. Taehyung, with a look that was difficult to decipher, a mixture of courage and fear, uttered a sentence that left everyone speechless. A sentence that, according to many, should never have escaped his lips. A sentence that sparked a huge storm among the army, the media, and even HYBE's own management. What exactly did Taehyung say? Why did Jungkook's expression instantly change drastically, as if the entire world around him collapsed in an instant? And the most confusing thing, why a few seconds after that, HYBE seemed to make a quick movement, as if she wanted to erase the traces? No one expected that this moment would become the center of one of the most controversial rumors in BTS history, rumors that Jungkook is considering leaving the group that raised his name. The incident took place in between recordings that were initially taken for granted. However, if you look deeper, the gazes between members, rigid body language, and sudden changes in atmosphere all hold hidden messages. The camera captures a brief glimpse of the interaction between Taehyung and Jungkook, a meaningful look, followed by a bland smile that makes the atmosphere even more tense. Within seconds, the smile was gone, replaced by Jungkook's rarely seen blank expression. Why did HYBE act so quickly after that? In less than 24 hours, the video footage containing the moment suddenly disappeared from the official platform. The reposts of the fans who managed to record it disappeared one by one, as if some invisible force was clearing all the evidence. The question is HYBE protecting the artist's privacy, or is she covering up something much bigger and more dangerous? Many soldiers feel that there is something to hide. They flooded social media with speculation, theories, and snippets of clips they managed to save. Some believe that Taehyung accidentally leaked Jungkook's plans to leave BTS. There are also those who think that this is just a big misconception deliberately exaggerated by the media. However, didn't HYBE's overreaction actually add fuel to the fire of these rumors? On the other hand, Jungkook himself has not given a direct statement. Each of his appearances after the incident showed marked changes. He appeared more reserved, rarely laughed as much as usual, and often looked pensive backstage. Some fans who had attended the fan sign event even said that Jungkook's gaze felt different, like someone who is carrying a burden of secrets that could not be revealed. I ask this just a coincidence? Or is there an internal pressure that puts Jungkook at a crossroads? Not a few suspect that HYBE may be behind this decision, either as an attempt to preserve the image of the group or in the interests of larger business. Meanwhile, Taehyung, who starts it all off with a brief reveal, seems to be more and more careful in speaking in front of the camera, as if he realizes how much impact every word that comes out of it has. The question that now haunts millions of ARMY around the world is, if it's true Jungkook will come out, will BTS still be the same? And what is even more terrible, will we ever know the truth of Taehyung's spoken lines? Or will everything be buried forever under HYBE's strict control? No one would have thought that an event that was supposed to be a relaxing moment actually turned into a source of controversy that shook the entertainment world. That night, the room was so warm. The studio lights reflected the glow on the faces of each BTS member present. They laugh, joke, and talk about little things that are usually shared only with the closest fans. However, behind the laughter, there was something that felt different. Not everyone realizes it at first, but for those who are sensitive, there is a subtle unease lurking among the members' interactions. Taehyung sat slightly tilted forward, his hands clasped together on the table. His face looked relaxed, but his eyes seemed to hold something. Jungkook sat across, playing with his drinking glass without actually drinking it. A staff member signaled that the cameras were ready, and the show began. Everything went normally: light jokes, nostalgic stories, and a few familiar moments that made the ARMY at home smile. Then, without warning, Taehyung said that sentence. A sentence that at first sounds like a joke, but contains notes that make the atmosphere change immediately. If you really decided that, I don't know what to say. That was all that was clearly heard before the boisterous voices of the other members tried to cover it up with fake laughter. Jungkook stared at Taehyung for a long time, without a word. At that moment, it was as if time stopped. The smile that had previously adorned his face disappeared. ARMY who watched the footage later said that Jungkook's gaze at that time was like someone who had just opened his secret in front of the world, something he kept close to his heart. As soon as the show ended, things got weird. The members immediately dispersed. The staff seemed busy talking in the corner of the room, and Jungkook immediately left the location without speaking to anyone. Taehyung, on the other hand, looked down as he walked towards the dressing room, as if regretting something that had just happened. A few hours later, video footage of the moment began to spread on social media. The ARMY talked about it incessantly. Some thought it was just a casual joke, but there were also those who saw it as a veiled admission of the big decision Jungkook was thinking about. The longer, the wilder the speculation. Does this mean Jungkook is leaving BTS? It's a question that's flooding Twitter, Instagram, and fan forums. HYBE seems to be moving fast. In a short time, the official video uploaded on their YouTube channel was suddenly cut. The part containing Taehyung's speech was removed. Fan reposts were deleted one by one, and the accounts that shared them began receiving copyright warnings. All this makes the public even more suspicious. If it was just a joke, why was HYBE's reaction so extreme? The next day, the atmosphere became even hotter. The media began to write articles with sensational headlines. Some even quoted internal sources as saying that there were indeed serious talks between Jungkook and management regarding his future at the group. However, no one dared to confirm it directly. HYBE released a short statement. There are no changes in BTS's current lineup. We ask fans not to speculate. The statement did not ease the atmosphere, but made the fire of rumors flare up even more. The army begins to analyze Jungkook's every public appearance. They compared his smile, his gestures, even the tone of his voice when speaking. Many feel that there is an emotional distance that is beginning to show, a difference that cannot be explained simply by reason of fatigue or a busy schedule. Taehyung himself never directly discussed his remarks that night. However, in an interview a few days later, he appeared to be more careful in choosing words. Whenever a question approached Jungkook's topic, he would smile lightly and switch the conversation. For some, this is a sign that he did realize his mistake. For others, this is evidence that he is being pressured to be silent. However, what made this rumor even more unstoppable was one thing: Jungkook's appearance on a radio show a week later. In the middle of the interview, the host asked what he would do if one day he stopped being part of BTS. Jungkook was silent for a few seconds before answering in a low voice, "I don't know yet. Maybe I'll go to a place where no one knows me." It is like gasoline poured into a burning fire. Armies around the world reacted instantly. Some cry, some get angry, others try to calm down thinking that it's just a hypothetical answer. But for many, this is an indirect confirmation that the rumors may be true. HYBE again issued a statement, this time more emphatically. They said that the interview had been misinterpreted and did not reflect any decision. But again, to fans who were already suspicious, those words sounded like a belated defense. Meanwhile, the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook begins to come into the spotlight. In their last few appearances, it is rare to see familiar interactions in front of the camera. No more physical jokes or warm looks like before. Although they remain professionals on stage, ARMY who knew their dynamics felt that there was an invisible wall separating the two, and in the midst of all this, the big question continues to hang in the air. Did Taehyung accidentally reveal the biggest secret Jungkook is keeping? Is HYBE trying to protect BTS from a major shock, or is she controlling the narrative to keep the public from knowing the truth? A few hours after the incident, the internet began to heat up. Pieces of the video of Taehyung saying the mysterious phrase were scattered like fire in a dry meadow. Initially, only a handful of large fanbase accounts uploaded it, but in a short time, thousands of accounts shared it. The Twitter timeline is filled with 15-second chunks that are replayed over and over again, analyzed frame by frame. Some enlarge Jungkook's facial expressions, some slow down Taehyung's lips, some even try to read other members' body language in the same second. However, around midnight Korean time, something strange began to happen. One by one, the videos disappeared from social media. The accounts that previously uploaded them began to post short apologies or delete posts without explanation. The normally very vocal large fan base was suddenly silent. Some account admins replied to fans' DMs with a short message. "We were asked not to share that content anymore." It didn't take long for the army to realize that this was no accident. They began to theorize that HYBE sent out legal alerts or used their legal team to clear all digital traces of the moment. Some fans who tried to re-upload videos found their accounts exposed to copyright reports within minutes. The more they tried, the faster the video disappeared. This phenomenon makes everyone even more suspicious. If it was just a joke, why was it deleted? Is a question that comes up again and again in the comments. Some took this as a sign that Taehyung's remarks did leak something very sensitive, perhaps even involving BTS' future. Jungkook did not appear in public for 2 days. No updates on Weverse, no activity on Instagram, not even seen in the location that is usually their training ground. The fans began to worry, especially considering the rumors that he was considering leaving the group. Taehyung also disappeared from the public radar, only once being seen at the airport with a large hoodie covering almost his entire face. Then, the third day after the incident became a turning point. An article from a well-known entertainment media in Korea released an exclusive report citing BTS's close sources who claimed that Jungkook and management had several serious discussions about his future plans. The source said that Jungkook feels burdened with ever-increasing expectations, and he wants to have more freedom to explore his solo career. The article immediately exploded on social media, trending in various countries. The army split into two camps, those who believe that this is just an unfounded rumor, and those who are convinced that this is the reason HYBE so quickly deleted Taehyung's video. Even more surprising, however, is what happened a few hours after the article was published. HYBE released an official statement, the contents of which only reinforced public suspicion. They did not refute unequivocally, saying only that no official decision has been taken at the moment, and asked the media to respect the privacy of the artist. The words "current" in the statement became the subject of great discussion. It was as if they were deliberately leaving room for the possibility that one day, the news could be true. In the midst of this chaos, a new video snippet appeared on an online forum that the public rarely visits. The video shows footage from a different camera angle, the same moment Taehyung speaks to Jungkook. From this angle, Jungkook's expression was much clearer. His eyes widened for a moment, his lips slightly opened, and there was a deep breath that seemed to be holding something back from coming out. There was no laughter, no jest from his face, only a heavy silence. This piece of video quickly spread among the army, but just like before, it disappeared shortly after going viral. Only a handful of people managed to save them before they are deleted. Those who managed to watch it said that from Jungkook's expression alone, it could be seen that Taehyung's sentence was no ordinary joke. The 4th day after the incident, Jungkook finally appeared on Weverse. He posted a photo of the evening sky with a short caption, "Everyone needs time."
No emoji, no explanation.
Army instantly flooded the comments section with questions, concerns, and support. However, the upload actually reinforces the impression that there is indeed something he is thinking about. On the other hand, Taehyung also posted something on Instagram. A photo of a piano with an unrecognized song score, accompanied by the caption, "There are things that cannot be expressed in words." For fans who followed the story from the beginning, the post sounded like a veiled message, either an apology or an acknowledgement that he had indeed said something that shouldn't have come out. Since then, the mood in fandom has changed. Each BTS performance is analyzed more deeply. Small gestures, stares, or facial expressions are the subject of lengthy discussions. Every time Jungkook looks aloof, the rumors get louder. Every time Taehyung spoke, the army waited to see if he would give a new clue, and what makes the whole thing feel like an unfinished mystery the most is the fact that HYBE still maintains a baffling reticence. They do not argue, do not justify, just keep a safe distance from public questions. As if they knew, the less they said, the greater the curiosity that would tie the world's attention to BTS. The 5th day after the Taehyung, Jungkook incident became a moment that fans will never forget. BTS performed in a special music show broadcast live on Korean national television. The event was supposed to be a stage full of pride, a performance that showed their compactness as always. However, for observant eyes, there was something different from the moment they stepped onto the stage. The leader walked to the front with a calm expression as usual. But the look in his eyes looked heavier, like someone was carrying a weight that could not be shared. Jimin, who usually always smiles broadly and gives positive energy, this time only occasionally smiles. It feels forced. Jin, who is known to be good at defusing the atmosphere, seemed to try to make a few small jokes, but there was no laughter from Jungkook or Taehyung, and as the camera zooms in on the two, Taehyung and Jungkook, the atmosphere becomes even more tense. They were not standing next to each other, as usual. There is a clear physical distance. Some soldiers on social media even calculated the distance, almost 2 meters, whereas in previous appearances, they often stood side by side, sometimes even touching each other's shoulders. When the song starts, Jungkook's voice remains perfect as always, but something is missing. There was no confident gaze at the camera, no small smile between the lyrics, just full focus on the notes and lyrics, as if he were in a world away from the stage. Taehyung, on the other hand, is seen trying to display maximum charisma, but whenever his eyes accidentally meet Jungkook's, he immediately averts his eyes. The fans watching from home began to theorize. Some say that RM seemed to be trying to organize the interaction on stage. In some moments, it is seen that he deliberately places himself between Jungkook and Taehyung, as if being an invisible mediator. After the performance was over, they sat down on the couch for a short interview session. The hosts of the show, probably already aware of the tension in the room, tried to break the ice with light questions about the preparation for the stage. All the members answered as usual, until it was Jungkook's turn. He only smiled briefly, then said, "I just want to give my best, as long as I'm still here." The word is like lightning in broad daylight. Although he may not have intended to give it a hidden meaning, the public has already interpreted it as a new clue. The words, "as long as I'm here," trended on Twitter within minutes, with millions of ARMY tweets talking about whether it was just a slip of the tongue or an implied message. What made the atmosphere even more complicated was the reaction of the other members after the sentence came out. Jimin was seen glancing quickly at RM, as if asking for instructions on how to react. RM only smiled slightly, while Taehyung lowered his head while playing with a ring on his finger, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Jin tried to laugh a little, but the laughter sounded bland. After the show ended, fancam from various angles began to circulate. There's one viral fancam, showing during a commercial break, where RM talks to Jungkook while patting him on the shoulder several times. Behind them, Taehyung stood alone, facing in different directions, looking like he was thinking about something heavy. The army began flooding the comments with speculation. Is RM trying to calm Jungkook